Welcome, my beautiful Leos. We're going to go ahead and get into your November energy reading. So take what resonates and leave the rest out. And let's go ahead and begin really quickly. So, Leo, your main energy for the month here is the Seven of Wands, okay? And then what's blocking you is actually this Ace of Wands, all right? So, very interesting. I mean, the Seven of Wands requires a lot of energy. It requires for you to be really strong on setting your boundaries and creating your own way. So that's the theme for this month. Ace of Wands can symbolize that you're being burned out, you're feeling burned out, given that it's showing up as a blockage, okay? What you have here in the state of mind is basically the King of Cups, and this shows me that this month is really big on finding balance, finding harmony into your life. What you don't see coming here is this Queen of Wands in reverse. This can symbolize that maybe you're feeling a bit uncertain about how to move forward with certain things. Queen of Wands in reverse too can be that you're dealing with an individual that is potentially posing an issue for you, and that will become very evident during this month. And you have in the past energy, the Death card, which means that some of you guys potentially have endured some strong changes in the recent past. And you have the Ten of Wands here showing up in the near future, which I love to see because it shows me that you are actually going to be dropping a burden this month. So you are looking for ways, again, of creating your own way, right? Of establishing your own boundaries. That is that Seven of Wands energy, because some of you guys might be feeling a bit too burned out during this time. But in the near future, I see you making the correct steps where something is going to help you, aid you, because that King of Cups could be an energy coming to aid you in seeing things from a more balanced perspective so you're able to drop this burden, okay? Your approach here is the Knight of Swords. And I feel like this shows a very willing energy to make the changes, willing energy to put in the work, to release, right, what it is that doesn't belong to you, and to become very objective about what you're choosing to give your attention to. And that's what I'm seeing there with that attitude. Now, the Knight of Swords can be a bit cutthroat. This is not the month for people to mess with you. I feel like you will be basically spitting the truth right to people's faces. So I wouldn't recommend people to piss you off. But it shows that you're really trying to get a lot of things in motion and cut back on the things that do not serve you, because some of you guys feel exhausted. Okay. In the environment, you have here the Nine of Cups. Okay. The Nine of Cups shows me that there could be a favorable environment coming your way, kind of like a wish being granted, right? And we see that with the Ten of Wands as well, okay? And we have here the King of Wands and the hopes and fears. I feel like maybe you are afraid of your own dreams. Maybe you don't see the way of achieving what it is that you truly want to experience in your life. But Spirit is saying, trust it, okay? Trust it. You can make your own way. That is the theme of this reading, making your own way, okay? Even if you feel burned out, push a little harder so you can finally drop the burden. There is action that's needed from your part, but it has to be from a different perspective, a more balanced perspective, a perspective that's aware that you need to have emotional harmony in your life, that emotional balance, the mental balance, that everything that involves you being in alignment is important, okay? And we have here the Nine of Wands showing up. And this is showing up as the outcome. And like I said, there was this energy of the final push. And that's what that Nine of Wands is, right? It's that final push. You're ready to make this change. And nobody can take that away from you unless you give it, okay? So that's what we have for the main spread. However, we're going to go ahead and clarify. We're going to get into this Ace of Wands. Why is it a blockage for you? Why is Leo dealing with this, and how can we cope with this energy? Thank you, Spirit. I wanted to say Scorpio. Maybe some of you guys are dealing with a Scorpio. I'm not sure. We also have here the Hangman look, Piscean energy, about looking at things from a different perspective. Make your own way. In order to make your own way, you have to expand your vision, right? Going back to the energy of the King of Wands as the hopes and fears. Expanding your vision is very, very important. We have here the King of Cups again. Yeah, it's all about emotional balance, Leo. You need to focus and make that a priority, okay? Another thing with the King of Cups, though, is that it's asking you to make decisions, right, that are not just simply based on emotions. This is about being very strategic, allowing yourself to listen to the emotions that you're feeling, right? Because they're giving you cues about what needs to be changed in your life, but to not be impulsive, to not be overly emotional, right? This is about kind of regulating yourself. So it's very important for you to regulate yourself. And then we have the Emperor. You need to take care of this. This is important, right? This cannot be ignored. That final push, right, of making your own way needs to be a top priority for you. Give me a little bit on this Queen of Wands that I see here as what we don't see coming. Thank you, Spirit. Queen of Wands, you have here the Wheel of Fortune, okay? Wheel of Fortune is a big change, a big shift for you. The other card that we have here is the 10 of Pentacles. I feel like what this is saying is that you need to trust that you know what you're doing, okay? Even though it might feel bumpy, even though you might feel burned out, the small changes that you start creating into your life are actually going to be rewarded, okay? But you have to prioritize your well-being. And you have here the Devil, right? And the Devil symbolizes being in these energies that keep us in the same box, right? Being in these energies that keep us restricted, that keep us doubting ourselves. And Spirit wants you to break out of those change, right? Flip this narrative. Be confident in yourself, in your power of creation, and your power of stepping into your own authority. Now, let's go ahead and get some on this Nine of Wands. This is the outcome. Let's see what Spirit wants to share with that. Nine of Wands, you have here the Three of Pentacles. So this is about leveraging your collaborations, okay? The other card that we have here is the Page of Pentacles. This is, again, trusting that your investment will be worth your time. You know that your vision is worth it. And you have here the Hermit. And I feel like what this is saying is quiet everybody else's opinions and focus on what you want. Focus on what you truly believe in and never allow anybody to sway you from that. And also, some of you guys might benefit from some time in stillness, for some time to kind of meditate, connect with your higher self, with your spiritual team, okay? Final messages from Spirit for the collective, for Leo. Final message. The Fool. Look at that. The Fool talks about a new beginning, a new chapter, right? And also it talks about detachment, right? Detaching yourself from identities that other people have put on you to enjoy the journey and tailor the journey to your well-being, right? So that's a beautiful energy right there. And Leo, I'm going to go ahead and close it at that. Please let me know if this reading resonated with you in any kind of way. And if it did, drop me a comment down below with your thoughts. Like and subscribe if you do want to support my channel. And I'll see you guys on the next one, okay? Bye.